It is 12:19 a.m. on a Saturday. I am sitting in a Best Buy parking lot. I'm basically living, not entirely, out of my car, and I'm the happiest I think I've been in a very long time. Hey everybody, it's Leviathan. We're gonna have a quick chat. Um, as we're talking, I'm gonna apologize one time and one time only for the sound of the cars that you're gonna be hearing for a little while. As I've said recently, I have chosen to walk away from a job that I should not have been at. And someday I will maybe elaborate more on why. Um, that's not in the cards for right now. But in this present moment, here in this Best Buy parking lot, I'm the happiest I've been in a very, very, very long time. And there's a lot of reasons for that. There's a lot of reasons for that. And if there's anything in this world that I wish I could do, it would be to spread this joy that I have and the excitement and the nervous energy and the intrigue into whatever the future holds to the rest of the world. Because I lived for a very, very, very long time in a bad place that a lot of people, especially my generation and those coming after, are living in right now. And I've also had enough life experience to get to the point where I can confidently do what I'm doing and feel extremely good about it. I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on what is going to be happening with Leviathan's Deep going forward, what you can expect from me, and as well as a little bit of what was happening behind the scenes right before I stopped my old job. I had just gotten into a very, very consistent workflow with this podcast and with this series. As well as in my life. When I left my job, I had a little bit of time to sort of get on my feet with some things before I had to make some really big changes. And during that time, I was able to start committing consistently to making some stuff. So I think I made like 3 episodes that were basically daily or something like that. And my wife and I were doing really, really good in our relationship. We were eating great, going to the gym, all this really good stuff. And obviously, as you can imagine, when you change jobs or when you make big life decisions, priorities change. And so obviously I wasn't able to do anything for a little bit. And right now things have settled enough that I can go back to making content as much as basically possible. Let's put it this way, there is really nothing stopping me from making episodes and doing this almost every single day with the exception of my sleep and myself. And one other thing, which I'm going to get into in a second. But for the time being, you can anticipate that I'm going to start being extremely, extremely active with this series, which is something that I had wanted to do, obviously, but it's like now I'm able to really fully pursue this dream. Now, what you might be wondering is how am I planning on doing that? And that's going to involve me elaborating a bit on my background, sort of. Long story short, as I said before, I worked in real estate as someone who did digital media. And this was out in the Metro Detroit region. This is a long time ago. But essentially, over time, things changed and I walked away from that. But I still learned some skills and I still had a life that I lived out there. Well, what I've essentially now done in some ways is start walking back to a version of that, but on my own. No one owns me, no one controls me. There is nothing in this world and no one in this world that can stop me but me. I'm doing it with my wife. She's fully, thank God, I have the wife that I have because she is fully in 150% support of it. She was like, you should have quit months ago. And I was like, yep. And I have a lot of things to say about what happened in future episodes. But like I said, I'm going back to doing digital media for clients, but I'm starting from zero. And so, in order to start from zero, I got to go back to my old nemesis, which is DoorDash. It was my nemesis because I only ever ended up door dashing when I wouldn't get the kind of work sent to me that I couldn't go get myself, if that makes sense. Couldn't because I was afraid, couldn't because of contract obligations, couldn't for other reasons. And I'm at the point in my life now where I have a why that is pushing me back in the direction that I came from, but with a very different motivation and a purpose. And I'm climbing a very different mountain than the last time I was here doing stuff like this. And so I am delivering food to people, and I'm the happiest I've been. And I was at a job that had full-time benefits, and was taking care of me in a way that you'd expect a job to. And here I am now, and I was doing something that wasn't really in my profession, but I was doing it for like a year or whatever. I'm now doing this. I'm delivering food to people, and I'm the happiest I've been in a very, very long time. And I'm doing it because it's paying my bills while I do the work of getting clients, while I do the work of starting several entrepreneurial endeavors. And while that's happening, I'm going to be changing as a person. I've already changed a lot up to this point, but there's a lot of things that I'm going to be doing internally, a lot of internal work that I'm doing that I've had to do, that I have done, and that is going to continue to happen. And during the process of that internal work manifesting, every good piece of advice, encouragement, and wisdom that can be given is going to be given here. Because there are a lot of people in this world that are my age and that are in their early 20s or late teens or even 30s that are so lost because they don't have a good motivation to do what they're doing. They don't have a good reason to get out of bed. Or if they knew what they wanted, they knew who they wanted to be. They knew who they were. They knew exactly what the steps to take would be. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 100. To climb the mountain that they wanted to climb in their life. They actually, even if they had the answer to what they wanted to do with their life, they're scared because they don't know if they can handle what's coming. They don't know if they can handle step 20. They don't know if they can handle the wolves and the hyenas and the weather on the mountain as they climb it in life. And or Odysseus on the sea. It's like they don't know if they can handle what's coming. And it's been very clearly shown to me that the theme of the next point in my life is overcoming fear, in addition to a lot of other things. And as that happens, I'm going to be making it very clear to the world and to those that want and need the kind of insight that I'm hopefully going to be learning that it isn't out there. Because if it was out there, I would just go find it and do it. But I think that I finally landed on what mountain in life I want to climb. And in order to climb that mountain, I can't know every angle, every turn, every winding, bending turn in the road up that mountain. I can't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I can't know the answers to every question that someone's going to ask me or anything like that. I can't do everything perfectly for every client, but it doesn't matter because it's not about those little interactions. It's about the fact that your life is your own. You get one life, one chance, and then you die. And it's like, what mountain are you going to climb? And so now that I have a mountain that I've decided is the one for me, and my wife is on board and wants to come with, the only thing that's stopping me is me and fear and a bunch of things I'm most likely blind to as I learn more about myself along the way. And I've never been so interested in my own life. It's like becoming the main character again, which I want to do an episode on later. But it's like you become the main character. It's like you woke up from the Matrix, but not in some weird, like, guru way. It's almost like you cheated destiny. It's like you were going down a pattern and a path that was so terrible for yourself. And suddenly something happened out of random chance. And now here you are and you find yourself in a beautiful position to do something that you are, to go on a path that no one else is going on but you, and to run head first into a journey like that with only yourself to stop you. It's like there's other people that have to be out there that want to do the things I'm doing, because I've wanted to be this way and do these things for a very, very long time, and be my own person and not have to worry about what somebody was gonna tell me. Like I have to be subservient to a company or an organization that does not care about me and my well-being. And in order to do that, you have to have a certain number of skills in things like business and in your personal life that enable you to do that a lot of people just either don't have or don't know how to possess. There's tons of YouTube channels, content creators, filmmakers, people out there that have finance channels or something, and they just like are throwing numbers at you and saying, just do this and you'll make thousands of dollars. Or creative people that are like, yeah, I have my own business, and they can say how they got started, but it doesn't matter, because if you're not them, you don't have their life experience, their skills, their values, their support system. It's like you didn't see how they did it day by day, month by month, year by year to get there. And it's like, that's what Leviathan's Deep is about to be. It's going to be what it always was, but I'm going on a journey up a mountain that I have decided is the one for myself. And there's been overwhelming evidence that this is the right decision. And so this is the one that I'm taking, and I'm bringing everybody with me, which was not what I expected the series to be. When I started Leviathan's Deep, I was at the bottom. Like I would actually say probably rock bottom. I was a lot more nihilistic. This is why it was called Leviathan's Deep in a lot of ways, is it was like I was at the bottom, and I'm going to keep it Leviathan's Deep because it's still deep. And I think for the time being, everything's going to stay the same with things like the branding and all of that. But it does feel like I'm climbing a mountain instead of being a deep ocean. That being said, whatever happens in the future regarding the content I put out here and stuff, know that I'm going to be changing a lot as I do this. I'm not going to be the same person as I am today. In a week, in 2 weeks, in a month, a year, I'm going to be a very different person. And it's going to be reflected in the content I make and the content of my character, and the way I see the world around me is going to change. But that doesn't really matter. In fact, that's probably for the better, because you'll be able to see that change. And I hope it's for the better, because the values I have are ones that are of philanthropy and honor and good stewardship with what we're given. And this is the path that I believe that I'm to be walking. As I walk this path, I invite anybody who is interested in coming with me, because it's a big world out there. And I feel like, what's that saying? It's that like every big journey starts with a single step. Well, this is the beginning of that journey. So thank you to anybody that chooses to listen. And I wish you all the best. And no matter what happens, I will see you all on the other side.